But what if our beautiful world was a little less aggressive? We'll check that in Age of History too. Here, my dear viewers, we have this AI aggressiveness setting. We've already checked many times what would happen if it was set to 400%, 200%, and so on. But let's see what would happen if we just set it to 50%, which is the lowest aggressiveness. Would there be any wars in the world? And if so, between whom? How would the countries develop here? What would they focus on? Let's find out. So today we'll be in observer mode, and we'll be closely observing what happens in the world here. And after 100 turns, nothing has happened so far. You can only see that the countries, so to speak, are improving their relations. We can also check what kind of relations these countries have with each other. So you can see that Poland doesn't get along with Ukraine, Italy, Sweden, and Finland. Okay, Germany here, for example, with France. The United Kingdom with France and Ireland. So who knows, maybe something will happen here. The United States doesn't really get along with Mexico. And with Canada, all right then. Well, that's also quite interesting. How is this going to look? I see that they have units stationed all along the border, so to speak. The countries are securing themselves because now they're really going to focus on the economy, industry, and so on, since they'll simply have the money for it. They won't be focusing on constant attacks and ongoing wars, so if a war does break out here, it should be quite interesting because both countries will have a very large amount of troops and money. I'm constantly watching the bar on the right side to see if a war is starting, but for now it's calm. Oh, but I see that the first war has happened, and it was North Korea. And South Korea has conquered a part of North Korea. I see that China is at war with Japan, and I can see there are a few units here. But Japan will probably defend itself without any trouble, so the first conflicts are starting to break out in the world. But for now, things are still pretty calm. It's just that in Europe, Nicaragua and Guatemala, so they'll probably be sending amphibious assaults at each other, okay? Japan is defending itself here. There are some small Chinese units. It will be hard for China to land troops in Japan, but some kind of war is going on here, and actually Japan is putting up a strong defense. And now, my friends, a war with Sweden is starting, but Poland is also at war with Italy. It's just that this war, so to speak, I don't know what's going to happen here. I see huge units in Italy, but it will probably be a fight involving amphibious assaults. 11,000 Italians are going somewhere. 20,000 Polish troops are stationed here. What will the United States do? Did the United States have a war with Russia? It's really strange that these countries are signing peace so quickly. After all, it seems like the states didn't do anything here, unless I'm wrong. Well, everything here is... Nothing has changed, the borders are the same, but there's peace. Maybe they declared war on each other, and when it was about to come to a clash, they signed a peace treaty. But here you can see that China is attacking hard, and Japan also has quite a few units, so to speak. There are wars going on for now, but as for someone actually taking territory from someone else, that's still very rare at this point. Only Korea and I think Indonesia here have taken over Papua New Guinea. And also here, now they have rebels, but Indonesia will deal with that quickly here. Yeah, Indonesia is quite a strong country. It'll be interesting to see how things turn out here. Usually it's the tiny countries that disappear. They disappear. Oh, and my friends, we have a Polish-Ukrainian war. The only problem with Poland is that Poland still has 2 other wars. Well, we'll see how they manage here. Exactly. And now there's a landing on Poland here. An Italian on their back. Quite a large army. And this could be the end here. Yeah, exactly. Poland lost because it simply had too many wars. Sweden has also landed here, so Poland will probably fall. Italy has taken over Western Poland. Ukraine has taken over a few territories here. Sweden has taken over the coast here. And Poland really took a beating. Will Poland be able to rebuild and come back here? Probably not. If the aggression level here was at 400%, then it would have a chance. But here, when these countries are so focused on assimilation and their own development, it might be tough. We've already had the first war in Europe, because until now nothing was happening. I see that Finland is at war with Norway, so they'll be fighting in the north. Finland has better chances. From what I can see, it has better territory. It's also much higher in the rankings than Norway. The states just have a bunch of deals from what I can tell, because there are a lot of satisfied countries here. They're getting along with China, interestingly enough. Albania is fighting with North Macedonia, and here territories have been taken over. Albania has grown a bit, Macedonia has lost some territory. Russia is at war with India, and I see they're moving through China, so they've come to an agreement. And here, Russia is trying something. Well, Russia has pretty good numbers here. Here it's at 12,000. But you have to remember, India is also quite powerful. Here you can also see it's 21,000. Overall, you can see such a large army at this low aggression level. These bots really have powerful units here. And Russia is trying something here, but India will probably defend itself without much trouble, because the passage through China will eventually end too, and then Russia won't have any way to attack. Only massive amphibious assaults, but those would have to be really huge landings, with 100,000 troops, or even 200,000 soldiers, just to take control of something here. Turkey is fighting with Iran. They could fight over this piece of land for a long time here. In theory, Turkey is stronger, so we'll see what happens here. And I see that, as usual, the Netherlands attacked Denmark and took over a few provinces here. Oh, India is attacking Russia. They're also trying to seize something here, but I see these are just tiny units. Nothing much will really happen here. Yes, Russia will easily defend itself here. Maybe they'll lose some territory for a moment, but nothing major. This Europe is really so calm. Well, in Africa here I see, what is it, Zambia, I think, Zambia, Namibia. Oh no, here it's Angola. No, nothing much is happening here either. But Malaysia is attacking too. India, and India also has rebels here. Now Russia has attacked more forcefully. Well, that's an interesting situation. And Russia is coming in from the north as well. The fall of India. It looks like it, although they still have some territories here. Something has broken free here. Sleepy. Let's see, yes, Russia's taking over territories here. And maybe now there will be some talks here. Because I think India doesn't have any territory left anywhere. Or maybe they still have something, possibly some little island. And here they have territory. Okay, 37 provinces. Aha, because they're still occupying some territories here in Russia, but that's just here. India has nowhere to recruit units from, so this war will end soon, and we'll be back here in a moment to see what happens. China and Japan signed a peace treaty without any major changes. The Czech Republic was attacked by Austria, and Austria managed to gain some territory here. It's strange that Germany isn't doing anything, that's odd. Germany usually like to attack. Let's also take a look at the situation here. Italy is at war with Bosnia and Herzegovina, with Algeria and with Spain. Spain is at war with Italy, so here, well, who knows, maybe Spain will manage to capture some territory. Although here Italy is very well prepared. 43,000 troops stationed here. They have a passage from France, Spain does, but I don't think they'll let them just sit here with such an army. Italy has great strength here to defend itself. Italy also still holds that piece of Poland, so even if all of Italy is taken over here, they won't capitulate so quickly. Italy has actually become the second world power. Or third. Well, I see it's like this. They're trading places with Indonesia here. Russia is 4th, China 5th, Mexico 6th, the United Kingdom 7th, Germany 8th, Brazil 9th. But I don't think Brazil has conquered anything here. And France is 10th. First is the United States, which isn't doing anything. Amazing. Aha, I see that now, Russia. And Malaysia are having trouble conquering these few islands. Russia is also having trouble getting rid of this here. India? No, it's already taken everything back here. Finland has taken over a large chunk of Norway here. Italy is landing troops in Spain. Who knows, maybe here. Italy will conquer the world. Although I think they sent a bit too few units. Czechia has been completely eaten up by Italy. Slovakia is attacking Ukraine. Well, I don't think Slovakia will manage here. Ukraine will defeat them without much trouble. Well, just reinforce it. Ukraine already has 14. These places in the world are now being absorbed by Slovakia. It will become even stronger. And you, my dear viewers, can write in the comments whether, because lately we've always been playing on legendary difficulty with aggression. Maybe now we'll try playing on the lowest difficulty, because as you can see, something is always happening in the world. Someone is always fighting. Someone might declare war. I thought there would be less going on here, but the countries are actually fighting, and what's best, they're better organized. But from what I can see, it's also Italy. They're starting to have a tough time. They're going through a rough patch because Greece and Germany have started attacking them too. They're also at war with the Netherlands, so right now they're losing the territories they took from Poland. Germany is making a strong push here. The Netherlands is doing the same, and yes, they've taken over this territory. Now, Germany is probably preparing for some kind of landing while they're still fighting here, facing opposition and defending themselves against Spain. I also saw here, oh, it's even sailing, a Greek landing force, which is attacking here as well and constantly reducing their numbers. The Italians. Italy is still trying to get through Austria and reclaim territories, but they probably won't achieve much here. It has come to... Germany is also breaking through here. Spain keeps attacking. Well, if Italy manages to withstand this, I'll be surprised. Here, the attack is coming from 4 countries, none of which are weak. But Germany is pushing deeper and deeper. Yes, Germany is starting its march to Rome, although here, Spain has pushed further into the front. Well, here. 38,000 Germans are still here. Greece is attacking from the south, taking over a province, and Germany is already occupying Sicily. And here, Italy has been completely defeated, and now Spain holds Rome, Greece has this tiny little piece here. Germany has Venice here and the neighboring areas. Germany also took over Western Poland. Italy managed to hold on to a bit of territory here. And the Netherlands? The Netherlands didn't take anything. The Netherlands didn't take anything from Italy, didn't gain anything. But I have to say, it's interesting. Everything is shaping up in an interesting way here. Turkey is still fighting with Iran. Well, obviously, it's going to be hard to gain any real advantage here. What happened to India? Oh, we have India. India is just a tiny country here. Russia took over northern India here. Malaysia took the south. And here we have this country that managed to break free. India has a huge debt. Now they're going to fight to pay it off. Vietnam is attacking. Myanmar, and here Thailand. Oh no, it goes through Thailand, but there was also some territory here. I think it was Thailand's before. Maybe they already had this war earlier. So Vietnam is also fighting the opposition here. In South Asia. And they've taken over a large piece of territory. Now, in fact, they could take over Laos, Thailand, and Cambodia. And here they could create a powerful state. And now France intends to finish off, from what I can see, Italy, but not completely, because I also see that Tunisia and Brazil are attacking France. So here France could have lost territory. No, here Venezuela has taken over French Guiana. Oh no, French Guiana still exists. Regular Guyana has disappeared. We have... What is it doing here? Do we have Great Britain here? We do have Great Britain. They've taken over a few territories here in South America. United States, what are you doing? Nothing, classic. Or maybe the States conquered something and I didn't even notice. Probably not. France will probably defend itself here against these landings. France is powerful too. 8th place in the world. As you can see, it's winning here. And here it will keep attacking Italy. Well, look, there are some nice territories here in Italy close by, bordering, so France could take over quite a lot of land here. Italy is still defending itself somewhere, but France will probably defeat them here, and I'm curious whether France will take them over completely. France is still at war with Greece, and here it could also capture this Greek part of Italy. Here you can see bigger numbers. Honestly, it looks cool, but they still haven't finished the conflict with Italy here. Italy still has some territory somewhere, perhaps. Germany has poor relations here, for example, with Italy and with France. There could be some kind of war here, or with Austria. Well, if Germany were to take over Austria, that actually wouldn't be a bad idea for them. Italy is still fighting here, but France will once again be taking over these territories. But I'm wondering, where do they still have territory? Only here. So how did they bounce back? I don't know. Something's happening in Africa. Morocco is attacking Tunisia. Maybe something will come out of it. Cameroon has grown here, but not much is happening in Africa. And here, peace was made. Greece didn't really lose those territories to France. And here, France, well, why aren't they entering peace talks with the Italians? That's what I'm wondering about. Oh, right, I forgot that they have territories here and they need access. Someone has to give them passage. But wait, because here Poland got hit again. Poland took a hit and Austria moved in here, but Poland still exists. Poland still exists. Granted, only 3 provinces, but it still exists. I see that here the Philippines are at war with Taiwan and South Korea. South Korea. North Korea isn't being finished off. Finland is fighting with Sweden, and Finland is well on its way to dominating all of Scandinavia here. There are still some battles going on, but no, the Finns are holding their own. They're fighting here. From what I can see from the numbers, Finland should be the one to win here. Switzerland has decided to attack France, and now Switzerland, which had been holed up for 1,000 turns, is coming out with its entire army, and thanks to that, Italy is gaining a bit and can keep fighting. So is this going to be the fall of France? Well, something's up with France. I don't see many units here. And again, France, I mean, in general, countries suffer from waging wars for too long. Here you can see that Switzerland has some impressive numbers, 6,000, 4,000 each. Even such a small country has a chance to gain something. It has a chance to capture something. France is doing worse and worse here. Do they still have any territories somewhere, or is this all they own here? Well, they still have quite a lot of these territories here, but some are occupied. Actually, they'd still have to take these islands here. And here on the continent, France has been defeated. Well, I didn't expect that. Honestly, no one expected it, but Switzerland managed to pull it off here. I see that Ukraine wants to completely destroy Poland. And here they've already taken over Warsaw, and with these 2 provinces left, they just need to enter Suwałki. Germany. Here there are 129,000 troops stationed, preparing for Albania. Germany wants to conquer the Balkans, so they have somewhere to go on vacation. So what about France? My dear friends, peace has been reached. Italy gained some territory in the south. Switzerland has grown a lot, and France is now just a tiny remnant. But here too, Great Britain has 122,000 troops stationed in the capital in London without any major issues. And here with Ireland, they finally have a war with Ireland. It's just that, so to speak, Great Britain isn't sending any large units here. I'm actually curious, if they sent 120,000 troops, they would defeat Ireland without much trouble. But I guess they prefer to handle it with smaller forces. Piece by piece, but that's not a good method. Here it's more likely that even Great Britain will lose those provinces. Unless they move in with a bigger army, but I don't know what they're doing, what they're thinking. They could have finished this without much trouble by now. Now they've sent 20,000 troops. And that's a slightly better number, but probably still not enough for all of Ireland. But here, Ireland, so to speak, is running out of money. Although Great Britain doesn't have much money either. This army, okay, it's just standing there and exists, but it's also expensive to maintain. That's how it is, and they keep sending these small units here. Oh, now another 20,000. And now maybe things will look a bit better. No, because what they do is send this army, but the army doesn't go into full confrontation, so to speak. They just stand somewhere, occupy territory, or recapture it. I don't know, it's strange, that's how it looks. Poland. Poland still exists, my friends. One province, just one province. A city-state. Italy even has its capital here. Well, yeah, when they lost Rome, they had to move somewhere. Bulgaria did it. And Ukraine captured Constantinople. Bulgaria took over a sizable chunk of Turkey here. Syria also attacked here, it looks like, and took over a lot of Turkish territory. Turkey has moved far to the east and now has only 10 provinces. Iraq also moved in here, and Iran lost a huge amount of land. Kazakhstan has also appeared here. Well, that's interesting. Let's see what the rest of the world looks like. Right, we've been focusing on Europe for a long time now. Well, nothing is really happening in North America. Not much is going on in South America either. The Republic of Venezuela has been established. It had the required territories. And here, things are relatively calm. Now Serbia is attacking Croatia here and taking over territories. Croatia got 3 provinces. Oh, and here we go, my friends. The second war, the Italian-Spanish War. And will the Spanish once again take territories from the Italians? Because that's a possibility. Spain is doing well here. They have quite a large army that they're actually using, not just standing around and looking. Well, there are a lot of territories here. They're still trying to do something here, trying to reclaim territories. Here, Bulgaria is also helping Spain a bit, because, so to speak, they're using their units to weaken the enemy. And here they've taken over Genue. Germany is attacking France. And here too, they could gain a lot of territory because of this. Look at these huge numbers, 44,000, 36,000. These countries here are developing nicely. But they're still fighting with Denmark and Sweden here. But they should manage without much trouble. Germany could even take over all of Denmark after all. Although there are 70,000 troops defending here. And here, Germany can take the coast that Sweden had previously taken from Poland. And Russia? Russia is also at war with Sweden, but Sweden is a bit tiny because it's like that. I see they took over Lithuania earlier because Finland beat them here and now controls a large area. Oh, and here we can see what's happening. Spain, well, all they have left are these little islands to take over, but Spain seems to be struggling here. Spain also took over Tunis here. They also fought with Tunisia. Well, Spain is doing pretty well for itself too. Here, they've got a nice area, a nice piece of land. Well, the problem with Italy is that you just have to break through here and take over these territories. This is a nice buffer zone here. It's hard to make peace with Italy, but also, my friends, there's a sudden twist, because Austria has attacked Germany, and now Germany is at war with 4 countries, and Austria is taking over a lot of German territory. But will anything change here? Let's see, 30 to 23,000 to 6. So far it looks like Austria has a lot more troops. Is something happening with France here too? France has declared war on Italy. Okay, what happened here? Morocco came in here and took over the territory. Morocco in general, look at the territories they've captured here, they did pretty well. So now we'll see what happens in Europe, because this is quite interesting. And here Switzerland has declared war on Spain, so things are really starting to heat up. And from what I can see, Austria is defeating Germany here and taking over. Austria is doing quite well for itself. I can also see Ukraine here. Yes, Ukraine has also declared war on Germany. But here in the south as well. Oh, and now Austria also wants a lot of territory, but Ukraine steps in here, which saves the situation a bit. Well, it's interesting to see what might happen here. And what happened is that Germany dropped to 50th place. They became a vassal of Ukraine and Austria grew stronger. Well, that's an interesting situation, so to speak. I really didn't expect that. I thought Germany would be one of the leaders here. But reality turned out to be different. And now a lot of countries are just fighting among themselves and it's not clear who's with whom. It looks like everyone is just fighting everyone else. Interestingly, Germany's capital is now in Wałbrzych. Well, that turned out interestingly. Russia gained some territory here and I see that Sweden managed to defeat them completely. And Russia is only 8th. That's interesting because I thought they'd be a bit higher. I expected Russia to rank higher, but it's kind of a letdown. Who's first? Japan? Japan jumped to first place, but it's not because of conquest, since Japan hasn't gained any territory. They're developing. They have a population of 125, which is quite high. It's not the smallest population. 520 in economic development. They've really developed here. Let's take a look at the economy. I think they invested in a single province, right? Yes, here in Kumamoto. Next we have Mexico, which also took off. Mexico City is also very highly developed here. The province. Indonesia is the same. New Zealand, well, here it's a bit better because they've developed several provinces. The United States, well, they haven't really developed much. They've developed a bit in one province, but not here yet. Richmond, okay, but the US is in 5th place. 6th, here we have China, and they focused on developing their capital. Brazil. Brazil has a few provinces here, but has Brazil conquered anything? Not really. What did Russia invest in? They invested a bit in Moscow. And that's about it. 9th is Argentina, also developing here. 10th is Ukraine, but Ukraine is conquering here. They're taking over territory. Ukraine has significantly increased its size. I also see here that in the meantime, the Romanians have conquered some land, and now they're still fighting with the Italians. If they take over these Italian territories, they could easily claim them for themselves. Somehow it would look like they're doing it together with Germany. I also see here that Belarus was getting hit by Austria. Well, Austria, the great comeback of the Austrian Empire, the Austrian Emperor, those topics. Hungary is also trying something here. We should also pay attention to Serbia, which has also gained some territory here. Hey, wait, Bulgaria was here, right? And Serbia conquered it. And now Syria is attacking here as well. Ukraine is in Spain. And there are pretty big numbers here. I'm really curious. I would like to see how the war ends now. It's unfolding here, but I see that Syria is attacking Ukraine hard. I can't believe it, but here, Germany is still fighting with Syria. I see that an alliance has formed here, a Ukrainian-German one, and there's a battle going on here. And can Syria manage? Well, they've already defeated Ukraine here, now it's just Germany left, but there's gonna be a problem because as soon as Germany moves in, they immediately take back Ukraine. Catalonia has broken free, and here we have Aragon. So uprisings are starting to happen here as well. Ukraine has a piece of land in Spain. Something's happening here too. Rome. My dear friends, Rome has returned to the world map. Benwendo, something has broken free here. Here we have Parma, which means serious uprisings are starting to break out here because of wars that have lasted too long. Serbia is now attacking Greece here and taking it over. And from what I can see, Ukraine, together with Germany, has managed to defend itself. So my dear friends, we'll leave it here for now because so much has happened in this world, so to speak. It's funny, I honestly thought these countries would be less aggressive, but I see that even such low aggressiveness doesn't change anything, but you have to admit they're definitely operating with bigger numbers here. And I think that playing with an aggressiveness level of 50 might be a bit more interesting and a bit more challenging because these countries will be harder to conquer. So I hope you enjoyed the episode, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. See you next time. Take care.